Hi everyone, I'm Emily from Women Against Rape, and for 30 years we've been working with rape victims who were raped in the UK and rape victims who were raped abroad and are claiming asylum. And today I'm speaking about the changes the government wants to make to the appeals system, the tribunal where we are now. They've just put out a consultation, the deadline's tomorrow, so it's a moment for that. What they want to do is make appeals happen faster. They want to have very strict timelines. They want to get rid of the need for legal qualifications for judges.
Shocking, shame.
They want to make so you can be a police officer and then be a so-called judge, that kind of thing. So they want to make it harder to appeal tribunal decisions. It's already really hard to do that. They want to make more decisions on paper where there's no hearing. So the judge has a stack of appeals in front of him, looking through the papers. That's how they make your decision, just like the Home Office. They want more remote, where there is a hearing, they want more online remote hearings where it's very hard to communicate with a judge in a remote hearing. And they also absolutely shamefully want to get rid of independent experts, which is what women rely on to win their cases. So we oppose these proposals, which openly call in the top consultation document for easier, faster deportations. They say nothing about unfair Home Office decision making, nothing about decades of underfunding of the legal aid and the tribunal and court system. The detained fast track, they've tried some of these things before. So one thing they tried was the detained fast track in Harmondsworth and Yarl's Wood, which was speeded up appeals. 98% of people's claims were refused.
Shocking,
98%. And we fought, Women Against Rape fought with women in Yarl's Wood to defeat that. And it was one of the reasons women went on hunger strike in detention. It was finally ruled unlawful in 2015 because judges said it denied asylum seekers a fair hearing because there wasn't enough time to prepare your case. So that's what they want to do again, another version of that. Rape survivors need a flexible system that recognises the impact of trauma for all victims, because it's really hard to speak about rape and domestic violence, as women have said. So strict timelines make it even harder for women. And a lot of our work is helping women report rape because they haven't had the help they need through the legal system and the court system. So current system is already unfair, let alone what the government wants to bring in. So I mentioned expert evidence. They want to get rid of independent expert evidence. The Namibian women have spoken about how the Home Office country information that's used now is biased and geared towards making sure your claims are refused. So that is just one country, but we know it's true of others too. So how can women trust the experts put forward by the Home Office?
Yes, shocking, shame.
On remote hearings, online hearings, paper-based hearings, we know that women need to speak directly to a judge. And it's horrible. I hate having to say to women, you have to give evidence at your appeal, even though we know how painful it is to speak about what you've been through. And you have to say it in front of the judge, the Home Office, and everyone. It's bad. But if you don't do it, you don't have a chance of winning, because the judge has to see you speak and believe you, because that's what the system's based on. So online hearings and paper hearings are not a way of doing that. They're very unfair. So finally, these changes say nothing about the lack of lawyers, which is the absolute disaster at the heart of the asylum system. Women look for a legal aid lawyer for over a year. We know you can't win without a lawyer. Everyone should have access to a lawyer in their appeal. Everyone. So the government says, well, we recently raised legal aid rates, and that was after a legal challenge that we helped to bring. They did, but it was after 30 years of never raising the rates, and it still made no difference. It's not enough. So women are not able to get adjournments. They need medical evidence, but you can't get medical evidence if you don't have a lawyer. So it's all chicken and egg stuff. And we know that women are, with expert reports, are 6 times more likely to win their appeal.
Yes.
So that's very important that we keep that right. The same Ministry of Justice that's putting forward these proposals is trying to push through a law to restrict jury trials.
Yes, shame.
And they say that one reason is to reduce court delays for survivors of rape. So we know that rape is exploited where it suits and ignored where it doesn't. We refuse an asylum system where survivors are deliberately silenced and where the right to safety and a fair hearing is treated as disposable. We come together to demand justice and an end to the poverty that fuels rape and violence all over the world.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.